the first state championship.
And that was the first. The league was the California Nevada Interscholastic Snowboard and Ski Federation.
Yes.
And so this was the first time ever that snowboarding was a high school competition. And Mount Shasta's Daniel Hester was the first ever winner.
He was the first ever winner, yeah.
And I remember that was, it actually wasn't even an official sport that year. It was kind of considered an exhibition sport or some sort of, it was on a trial basis. And I guess it really took off after that. And then the next year in '99, that's when you won it.
Yeah.
And Zach got...
Daniel got second.
He got the silver medal and you were gold,
And then he ended up not competing our senior year to pursue baseball. He was a phenomenal baseball player as well. And then I won it again our senior year.
Okay, then after your career in high school, actually in 2000, what happened?
In 2000?
Your junior year. I'm sorry, your sophomore year. You won it your junior year in '99. What happened your senior year in 2000?
Well, I won it again.
You were the state champion again.
Yeah.
And I got to say that Zach is the only person in California high school competition to ever win back-to-back snowboard state titles. And there have been, I can think of one other girl that won 2 snowboard titles, but it wasn't back-to-back. And that was Mount Shasta's Emily Geary's.
Great snowboard racer.
But other than that, I'd say people are still talking about Zach Kay in the high school leagues. But anyway, so that was your senior year, and then you got out of high school. What happened?
When I graduated from high school, I decided that snowboard racing was something I wanted to pursue, and I joined a team and started competing nationally and internationally. And I believe it was just a couple years. I competed for about 2 years, and I made the U.S. national team. And in 2002, I actually got to forerun the Olympics because I was still a junior at that point.
And this is your race bib.
Yep, that's from Salt Lake.
Behind us here. This is Zach's the very bib that you wore.
Yep, that's
on
my
the Olympic
forerunning
course.
bib from the Olympic course.
Now, what's a forerunner for people that are watching?
Well, in skiing and snowboarding, they send down forerunners, and it's just a person that basically pre-runs the course. They test the timing. It's more of a formality these days, but it just is a trial run before they send the actual people down to make sure everything's working correctly so they don't have to rerun the competitors.
So basically all the cameras are running and you're the first guy to come down that course
there.
to make sure it's safe. And
there were 25,000 people in the stands. My heart was pounding.
And why did you crash?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't,
Of course
actually.
not.
That was running through my mind. Just please don't crash. I mean, it was a
Did you have a pretty good run?
I had a decent run. Yeah, I was excited. I mean, they took I felt it was a big honor. They took the top juniors at that time, and we got to go and do the whole Olympic experience, and my parents got to come out and watch, and so it was really cool. It was neat to be there.
And I remember seeing you on ESPN a few times in some of your races.
Yeah, I was on ESPN. I think actually a year after that, when I still competed in border cross. I ended up, I think I was podiumed at the national championships for border cross that year, and made ESPN.
About 2003, somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere around 2003.
It seemed like whenever Zach was going to be on ESPN, everybody in town would know a few days ahead of time. And you've got some good publicity agents out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. Now again, this is racing, and when you talk about border cross, how's that different from racing?
Well, mostly it's the format. Border cross, they send down 4 athletes at a time. It's a lot like, you think about motocross basically on the snow. They have big features, big tabletops, and bank turns and things like that.
But you're all 4 running at the same time.
4 at the same time. They start the gate drops, 4 people pull out, and then it's basically a mad dash to the finish line. And it's similar in the way that the top 2 people advance and go on to the next heat. So all the way through the finals. And for actual snowboard racing, it's 2 people head-to-head racing down a course, 1 person advances.
And you have the triangular panels.
And we have the triangular panels, and it's more similar to ski racing.
Okay. We're gonna see a little bit of, we have a little bit of video that we're gonna see in a minute here
Yeah.
that shows you actually on a race course.
Yep.
During this time when you were racing on the World Cup circuit.
Yeah, this is actually it's a video of myself and Tyler Jewell, who went to the last Olympics. This was actually that year. It was about 4 years ago, and this was a race in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. I'm starting out on the blue.
Okay, that was pretty cool. Now, there was 2 different races, and on the first race, you were on the...
I was on the blue course.
And the second race on the...
We swapped, and I was on the red course, and Tyler Jewell was on the blue course.
So that's a typical slalom?
That was a GS.
Or it was a dual GS, giant slalom.
Yeah.
And so it looked like you won both times then.
I did, yes.
And Tyler Jewell, is he a pretty good racer?
He's a phenomenal racer. I think he's #1 or #2 in the U.S. right now.
He's a great racer, yeah. So that's pretty neat. And you're going down around the small side of the triangular panel.
Yeah, they call that the stubby, or the small gate. You have a stubby gate and then a tall gate, which is where the other side of the panel is connected, and you go around the short side.
And what it looked like it was snowing there.
It was.
Does that matter if it's snowing?
I mean, you have to. You're racing in the elements. You have to race in what you get, basically. I mean, it only matters if it's snowing too hard, you can't race. But it changes the conditions. It can be softer each run, or bigger ruts. That's the main factor. Visibility is always a problem when it's snowing.
Now, can anybody just get on a snowboard and go down a course like that? How long does it take to get that good?
It takes quite a long time. Snowboard racing is one of those sports where you actually don't really mature until you're mid to late 20s.
About my age.
You're pretty close to your age,